Good morning, everyone. This is Fred Emery, Vice President with Heartland Campus Solutions. I'd like to thank you today for joining us for today's webinar, Keeping Track of Campus Equipment with OneCard. This webinar is in listen-only mode, so if you would like to ask any questions, feel free to go to the GoToWebinar control panel and click in the area that says questions, that's labeled as questions, and please type in your questions. We will try to answer them throughout the presentation, but of course we will allow time at the end for additional questions and to provide you with some information that you may need at that point. This webinar is being recorded. We will be posting it on our website hopefully within the next few days. We do pass it on to our marketing team, and then they will post it to the website. So if you'd like to review it later again, you're more than welcome to. Simply go to heartlandcampussolutions.com, and you'll be able to find the video listed there. And if you'd like to pass it on to other colleagues or let them know about it, by all means, please feel free to do so. I am joined today by two Heartland members, Dave Siegel and Joe Rogers. They will be assisting with the live presentation of the equipment module and talk to you a little bit more about different ways to use equipment on the equipment module on your campus and really how to keep track of campus equipment with OneCard. So say hi, Dave and Joe.
Hello, folks. Hello. Hi, everyone. Joe Rogers here.
So today, we'll start off with delving right into our objectives for today. So we'll start off by talking about who is Heartland Campus Solutions, in case anyone is not familiar with who Heartland is. Really, we'll get into what is the equipment module. We'll talk a little bit about benefits and features of OneCard equipment. And then we'll delve right into a live view of OneCard equipment, and I'll leave some time at the end for questions. So for those of you that don't know, Heartland Campus Solutions is a division of Heartland Payment Systems. Heartland has over 3,000 employees, pretty large and robust development and security team with more than 500 team members, more than 700 customer service and operation support. The core business of Heartland Payment Systems is payment processing, meaning that we work with local merchants to process debit and credit card transactions, to allow them to take those for a form of payment. So our core business is transaction card processing. We work with more than 250,000 merchants and 1,600 colleges and universities. How this relates to Campus OneCard is when you look at the OneCard system, it is a processing solution. It is a transaction processing solution on your campus. So the expertise that we have in transaction processing with retailers, we can incorporate that into the OneCard system and allow you to process campus cards on your campus for either payments or privilege verifications, access control, whatever you so desire. It's our core business and what we know best. And that's who we are. Now let's talk a little bit about the equipment module, OneCard equipment. It is a module that is included as part of our recreation and event services modules. It allows for you to define any piece of equipment in the system. So whether it's AV equipment, audiovisual equipment, computer equipment, sporting equipment at your recreation center, that all can be defined within OneCard, separated out by different areas. So perhaps your rec center has their equipment within it. Your IT area could have computer equipment that they lend out to students or staff members or rent to them for a period of time. Your communications department could have microphones and cameras and sound systems and projectors all within OneCard. It allows it to separate out those equipment by department within multiple layers. So you might have AV equipment, cameras, and then different types of cameras, or recreation equipment, um, balls, and then basketballs, footballs, soccer balls, tennis balls, baseballs, what have you, listed in there, down to the individual items, how many basketballs you have, how many soccer balls do you have, and what have you. You can, of course, rent these items to cardholders or simply sign them out to the cardholders, charge for fees if they are late, set the rental period so the cardholder would know when they need to return the item, and send them a notification automatically if that piece of equipment is past due. It also would allow individuals to do a reservation. So if they wanted to utilize a camera on Thursday for filming something for the communications class, their cinema class, they can reserve that camera in advance and it would then be there for them to pick up at the predefined time. And all the system is totally barcode capable. You can obviously go through the system and pick a piece of equipment, but if your equipment has a barcode on it, like let's say a camera or a computer, you simply can scan the barcode of that item and check it out to an individual. So it is a very quick and efficient operation to check out that equipment. Some of the benefits of the equipment module, OneCard equipment, is that it does utilize the existing database with your student information. It's part of OneCard inherently and natively. So you're not having to, with other systems that you might bring in for equipment management, create a whole new database with student information as part of it. You're using that main tool that the students are used to, their OneCard account, to check out equipment and to manage the rentals and when they're due. You're able to consolidate systems since you're using the same system for your entry verification with the ID card and for ID production. It's all part of one card. So um, you know when someone came into the rec center, for an example, you've taken their card and verified that they are someone who has rights to the facility, the recreation center, as an example, and you're able then to check out a piece of equipment. They come in and want to shoot some hoops. You can then sign them out a basketball to do so. It allows them to use their one card as payment, which makes it a very efficient tool and a piece of the one card system. They're not having to only pay with another form of payment, or there's no need to do any type of integration from a third party system to one card as a form of payment. It's all right there as part of the one card system, utilizing the tools that are inherently developed as part of one card. You can track the history of an item so you know who's reserved that basketball before or that computer if there's some damage to it or whatnot that you need to take care of. And if somebody had a basketball that they signed out and forgot to return it, they quickly ran out of the facility, they just left it on the floor. When your staff sees that item there, they can simply pick it up and check it right back in, and it comes off that student's account that may have reserved it or signed it out to utilize. And of course, you can keep track of item inventory, including item information, definition of the item, a picture of it, its serial number and description. So you know all the inventory and value that you have there in your facility for reporting purposes, and can remove things when they get too old and replace them with new updated items. I used to work at Hofstra University running the card system there. And one thing that we used back in the day, the one card equipment module, was for issuing communications equipment for our students in our comm department that needed to make films and whatnot, microphones, cameras, and what have you. But a unique thing that we did was in our language labs, we utilized the system to check out language lab tapes to the students. They were required to listen to language lab tapes based on the language that they were taking, the class they were taking, and had to spend a certain amount of time in the lab. So we would use the equipment module to check out the tapes to the students, um, and then check them back in. We were able to then provide this data to the professors, so they were able to see what their students were doing in the lab, what tapes they listened to, and exercises they did while there, and how long they were there. If they didn't have the proper amount of time in the lab, then it would affect their grade. So that was all done through the equipment module and allowed us to provide necessary information um, to the professors. So the important part now is really delving into the system. So let's take a look at OneCard equipment, and I'm going to switch this over to Dave and Joe to um, to do the actual live presentation. So Joe, you should have control now. You just will need to share your screen.
Can you see it?
It has not come online yet.
Okay.
I had given control to Dave. There we go. Now it
Okay.
came through.
All right. So this is the main control panel of our rental module, equipment rental module, and I'm going to start with just some equipment maintenance. We'll look at that, and then we'll look at some checking out equipment, doing some reservations and that type of stuff. So first thing is just your setup under equipment maintenance. And when you first set it up, you're going to set up the different types of equipment you have. So we have AV equipment and we have sports equipment. Depending on which one I choose, it'll give me certain categories. So I have a video category and an audio category in my under my AV equipment. And then if I choose one of these and then go to the generic type, I have, for example, speakers and mic. If I go back to video, I have DVD players, flat screen TV, and a projector. Same with sports equipment. I can do the same thing. I have a category of balls, and then I have basketballs and baseballs. So there's two different ways of looking at that. That's through this screen that kind of looks like OneCard, where you have the different tabs, or we can go to our tree view and actually view them in a tree view, where you could click on the category, click on your type, your category, and then click on your generic, and actually go down to see the different serial numbers you have and the different items defined. So we can add inventory, change inventory, delete inventory right from this screen here, which is kind of nice. So if I wanted to add inventory, we can add, for example, let's see what we want to add here. Well, actually, let's go. Actually, to the inventory here, and we're going to choose our AV equipment, audio equipment, and mic. And we can click down here and add our inventory. So we're tracking these individually. We'll just add a mic and add a serial number of 1002. Okay. And okay. So, for example, let's make this one white. Okay, so that's pretty much how easy you can add inventory. Again, I can select from tree list here, you know, and go to wherever I want to add different inventory as well, you know, as for what's available to rent and that type of stuff. So pretty easy to set up the equipment itself. Under rent time maintenance, we can add different rent times for these different items. So I don't have any for my sports equipment, so I'm going to go ahead and select my basketballs, and I'm going to add a rent time. There's multiple modes you can use here. There's a duration mode, a fixed cost mode, and a specific date and time return. Normally, most of the time when you rent stuff, it's a duration mode, and when you sell this, you can actually modify the fields. So if your duration mode set up for 1 day, you could change it to, you know, 2 days or something like that when you rent it. Fixed cost is where it's just the price, and that price can be changed when you rent the item, and then a specific date and time return. We're just going to do a duration mode on the balls here. So we'll just say 1 day as our duration, and then we'll just put 1 day here. And say okay. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll just change this to our baseballs here as well, and we'll add the same thing. And I'll show you a couple different ones when we check these out, so you can see what they, you know, what they look like for duration mode versus fixed price and that type of thing. So this one we'll do. Actually, let's just do a fixed cost on this one. And we'll charge $1 to rent a baseball. Okay, and then we'll add another one. We'll add a duration. Oops. And we'll do 1 day. Oh. So you can have multiple types of rent modes for one item. So I have the baseballs. I have a cost and a 1 day. Maybe the cost is to you know, somebody that comes on campus and, you know, is going to rent it, you know, just they're not a student, and then the 1 day is something for a student. So you could do it different that way. You know, another thing that, just speaking about this, another thing that we have a couple people using equipment for is for actually checking out vehicles in a motor pool. So that's another nice thing you can use with this. All right, so if we go under rental setup here, basically you can check to skip rental payments where it doesn't actually ask for payment for the item. You'll put your bill type in for renting, and we'll just use our athletics bill type here. And that's for charging accounts for the actual items when you rent them or reserve them or that type of thing. You can skip the receipts if you don't want to print any receipts for your rentals. And then rental group limit, you can set limits on rental groups. And then if you check do not use reservations, then your reservations will not show up. And then you can set up a default rental mode. Like if you don't select a mode, what is the default rental mode, like for a day or, you know, a month or however you want to set it up for your rental modes. Well, because I checked that, I didn't like my time here. Let me go change it. Okay. All right, so we'll start with reservations because normally that's what a rental would start with is somebody calling to the AV department. More like in the AV department, they would call and ask for a reservation before they would rent the equipment. So we'll just, when you go to equipment checkout or reservations, it asks for an account number. So we'll just pull up an account here. And do Pat Franklin.
And of course,
So
Joe, that would be where somebody would present a card and swipe it through a reader, either mag or
exactly,
contactless, correct, to pull up the account?
exactly, yes. So there's two different ways right here. I can either go directly to check out equipment, or I could go to reservations. So I'm going to go ahead and go to reservations, and I'm going to add a reservation. Now, normally what you would do here is go ahead and just either choose the item, or you could read a barcode. Like if you had the barcode available, you could just read the barcode for this. But I'm just going to choose the item here. And I'm going to go to my AV equipment. I'm going to go to audio. I'm going to go to speakers. And I'm going to select speakers. And I'm going to select one of these. And I'm going to add it. Whoops. Select. Sorry. So as you see, I imported a picture for these speakers. Those are some nice speakers there, by the way. But anyways, I put a picture on here, so when you check these out, you can make sure you're getting the right item. And then here I'll put my reservation date. So my reservation date is going to be today, and we're going to say it's going to be for 11/25. And the rental mode is a fixed cost mode. And reserve to date. We're going to reserve it until the 10th at 11:25, and we're going to reserve one. Okay, so now I have a reservation. Payment is pending. So I can just click pay and skip receipt, and that doesn't really charge me anything. That's just how you say, okay, that reservation's there. It's been made, and it's ready for Pat Franklin when she comes in to pick it up. So in order to check that item out, I can do the same thing. We'll go to equipment, and we'll go to check in and out equipment, same account, and we are at our time here, 11:25. So I can click on this and say check out, and here's where I have the actual fixed amount. Now this one I didn't allow editing when I defined the fixed cost. You can allow editing on the checkout. So then I'm going to put my due date and time, and we'll just say okay, they reserved it till the 9th, so the due date and time is the 9th. And we're going to go for 11:25, and then I say okay. So now you see it moved it from here. It is now up here, and I click the pay button, and I'm going to pay by cash, and that's it. So now that equipment is checked out, it's totally moved up top, and this person has the equipment. So I can check in this equipment. There's two ways of checking in equipment. You can go to the account if the person comes and swipe their card and check the equipment in, or you can do a recovered equipment. So if I go here and I go check recovered equipment, right now it shows me all the equipment down here that has been checked out. So this equipment right here, I could say, okay, I recovered this equipment, so I could actually check this in from the recovered equipment. Or I could just go to check in and out equipment, pull up the account number, you'll see the equipment that's checked out, and then I can check it back in here. And then click the pay, and that checks it back in. So really the pay button is what closes everything out, checks in the equipment, checks out the equipment, whatever you're doing at that time. Now, checking equipment availability. This can be done as well. You check for a certain date. You select an item. We'll do our DVD player. Sony DVD player. And okay, so not sure why it's not showing available, but maybe it's not. Let's just see here. Barcodes. At the wrong place, sorry. Okay, here we go. So back to checking out the equipment. So right here, when you're checking out the equipment, when you look for it, you can actually look it up by barcode. So if we go over here and choose find, well, I guess we don't have anything with that number. Let's find the number we have. $4,000. Let's try 2,000. I thought I did 2,000 here. Find. No equipment found. So this is where you'd actually scan the barcode with the barcode scanner, see, and then it comes up with the actual number. So let me select this since it's available. And so here we have a manual date and time entry. So it allows you to put the checkout time, the due time, the amount, and the price. Or we can do a specific date and time where you're going to return on 4/1/2014, which that's already passed, so we wouldn't use that time. In addition to that, there's a print barcode selection. So in order to print barcodes, you can actually print these by setting up labels. So you'd add different label sizes, the width and height of where the barcodes are going to be, give it a label name.
So Joe, you would do that for items that didn't already have a barcode on it, or that you wanted to print out a barcode directly for. So, if it had a barcode on it, we sometimes can use that, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so for the items that you manually enter that don't have one, maybe like a tennis racket or a hockey stick or something, you can then print out a label and slap it right on that item and make it quick to scan.
Right. So then here you just select the label you want to print, and you can print it out. You can print multiple. You can keep, adding multiple ones here after you set up your labels, and then print labels. Like, for example, if you wanted to print on just a piece of paper all the barcodes for your basketballs, for your baseballs, for your bats, types of things in your sports area, you could print that all on one sheet and then just use the barcode scanner to check the items out, which is a lot quicker than actually, selecting it from the tree view and that type of stuff. So it definitely speeds things up. And then there's reports. We have equipment reports, which could give you reservations, checkout, overdue, checkout and overdue, what's available. You could print it to WordPad, HTML, and it'll give you a report of everything that's available. If there's any reservations, what data to include in your report. There's also an equipment listing. which could give you a listing by equipment type, what type of equipment you have, multiple different reports on that, your equipment category, your equipment generic, or your equipment inventory, available number on this one as well. Actually, it'll look better as HTML here. Let's do HTML. You could do selected equipment. So if I only wanted to do my DVD player, we could report on that, whether they're in stock. And then used equipment for a date range. This is, who actually used the equipment for a certain date range. And we want to include the serial number, due date. So there's no equipment being used right now because nothing's checked out. So that's pretty much it.
Hey Joe, can you go back up to equipment if you have this set up and do the notification area thing at the bottom?
Oh, send mail for overdue equipment? Sure.
Yeah.
So
Just show
what
that.
this will do is this will automatically send an email. If the accounts are in OneCard, accounts in OneCard have the email addresses attached to it, this will actually send an email to the account telling you, your items overdue. So, you put the from, you could say overdue at Colorado college.net, and return your item. And the body email, I can do, for example, the account name with a 1. Let's see, it's a 1, and then a equipment list with a 2. And then you go to view overdue equipment, which I have none. Anyways, once you save this, it's going to automatically go ahead and send that information out. So the one right here under overdue equipment, you can do certain equipment, or you can do all equipment. So depending on what you want to do, but that'll send out the email to everybody and say, hey, you need to return your items. And that's pretty much it. Is there any questions?
Looking at the question area. I don't see any questions listed. Does anybody have any questions that they'd like to type in? Just simply go to the GoToWebinar control panel. You'll see a blue bar that says questions. I think it'll be a blue bar on yours, or a colored bar that says questions. Simply click in that area and type in your questions and click on send, and we should be able to see them, and then we'll be able to answer them. There are no questions coming in right now. Um, I also have put up my email address and our phone number and website there. So if you'd like to contact us directly with any questions, you're more than welcome to. Again, I don't see any questions in at this time from any individuals. Give you another moment or two to ask those questions. And again, feel free to email me with anything that pops up in your head later, or give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer those questions later on. If you're having lunch later and you walk past the rec center or some area and you think, oh, this sparked my memory. Now this is the question I want to ask. By all means, just simply send me an email. I'll be happy to answer it. Okay, here's one that have come in. Has this ever been used to track OneCard equipment? Um, we actually have a part of the system that was developed, um, but I don't think anyone had started using it. It had been developed, and I believe it went through testing that is specifically designed to track OneCard equipment, where you can list where items are.
Where's it at?
Um, if it's in for repair, like let's say you sent it to us, and if it's in for repair, the serial number that's attached to it. So it's similar to this, but it is meant specifically for tracking OneCard items. We can set up a webinar on that. This webinar is the final one that we've been doing in a series all spring, and we're putting together another webinar series that will um, showcase some new products like our check-in application. We'll talk about how administrators can use bring your own devices as part of OneCard, the different administrative applications that are out there. So that actually is um, a great webinar subject. So thank you
Hey
for bringing
Fred, if
it up.
you if you wanted to switch my screen back again, I can show a little quick preview.
Oh, okay, great. And then we'll do a full one later on. Let me switch this back. Okay, just go ahead and share your screen again, Joe.
All right, do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is just a quick preview. This is an executable called inventory. It's for the OneCard system. All our current clients already have this in their in their OneCard folder, and they can run it at any time. And basically, you just create certain catalogs over here. I'll just go through something real quick. You create catalogs over here of your different items that you could do different locations, buildings, that type of stuff. But when you add the items, which is nice, and I'll just show you real quick here. We could say this is a multi-door. Okay, and it asks for the OneCard serial number, so you can actually put our serial number in here. And then the quantity, what conditions it's in. We have working, not working. We have a status where it's active or non-active. We have the date of your purchase. What's nice about this is when I click on terminal, it actually pulls the terminal from OneCard. So you can actually set this item up to the different terminals within OneCard. So we'll just do this, and then whether it's in storage or HCS. So if the item's not active, maybe you have it in storage, or if it's not working, maybe it's sent to HCS for an RMA. You can track where all these devices are as well. And then you can give additional info and notes down here. And that's how you add your equipment. So it's real nice, to where you can just keep track of everything for OneCard in here. You can look at your statuses, where everything's at. You can export this to a HTML file or WordPad, for example, if you wanted to, have all this in a spreadsheet. You could do that as well. And with the export, you can actually do a filter, for certain items, or if you wanted to do everything that's not working and not active for a certain date range, or if whatever's at HCS for an RMA, you can do a report on that, and then call us and say, hey, just checking on these terminals, where they're at, that type of thing. So anyways, that's just a quick little peek at it. Again, Fred said this would be a good thing for a webinar, so if we want
And
to get
Joe, there
into
was
that more,
one
we can do
more question on that. Um,
it.
it was, is there a way to import the nodes automatically? if a campus has like 500 nodes or whatnot. I know that you show there at the terminals, and they were all pulled right from OneCard, so they're all there. But is there any way to do an import of the inventory initially for those items?
Um, I don't know. Let's see. I don't think there's an actual import function right now, no. You can do an import from the Pocket PC because we have inventory on the Pocket PC. Um, so, that's basically, scanning the barcodes though that we put on the terminal, so it'll import those barcodes. But as far as actually importing the items, I think you still have to define them.
Okay.
But what the Pocket PC part does, it allows you to define all your items here. It uploads it to the Pocket PC. Then you just go around and scan the barcodes.
Okay. Are there any other questions on the OneCard equipment module? And we'll do a webinar specifically for inventory. I think that would probably be a tool that a number of clients would like to utilize to keep track of all their inventory that they have purchased from Heartland and have as part of their OneCard system. So, are there any other questions? I'll give it another moment. We do appreciate you all joining us today for this webinar. And as I mentioned earlier, it is being recorded and we will post it to our website within the next few days. And so you can view it again if you'd like. And by all means, let us know if there are any questions afterwards. And we'd be happy to answer them for you. If your campus needs a uh, direct presentation, if you'd like to have a demo direct for your team there, um, to show it to your rec center folks or whatnot, or your audio visual com area, just let me know, um, and would be happy to show it to them. So thanks again, everyone, for attending. We appreciate your time and hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Thanks, Joe and Dave, for giving your time on this. We appreciate it.
Thank you.